So I know you have frenemies. We all have frenemies. Everybody has frenemies. Everybody has those people in their life that are never happy for them, that are never truly supportive of them, that are never really behind them, and that also willingly misunderstand everything that you say or put out there. They willingly project their negativity onto you. They willingly, even though they know what they're doing, they're quite aware of what they're doing and they know why they're doing it, and they still do it. So how do you deal with frenemies? How do you deal with that? Now, this topic came up because I was chatting with some friends, and we've all had that experience where, you're sharing something with someone, and all of a sudden you hear it from exactly the people you never wanted to hear it from again around several corners, but you know who you shared it with and how it got there to where it got to. Or you're, really excited about something and you're pushing yourself up and you're like, whoa, things are really going to come together for me now. They're going to happen. And then someone comes along and pops a bubble. Those Freudian slips of the tongue, the slightly turning, certain words or things or situations, even that sowing of doubt, that putting doubt into your situation or in you, doubting what you say, doubting what you're doing, doubting what you're about. And these are all things that can drain you of energy and drag you down. Now, this has been talked about ad nauseum, but why do people do this? Now, I find it's mostly where I've encountered things like that has been with women, has been with other women, very deeply insecure women, wounded women, women that are deeply also insecure in their own femininity, right? In their own sense of self, their own sense of identity as a woman, what is the good that I bring to the table as a woman? And they often come from backgrounds where being a woman wasn't really cherished, wasn't really valued. There was no value in that. So that creates this scarcity mindset that I can't be abundant or I can't be of value unless I have what you have, unless I take from you, unless I take what you have away from you. And so these women then turn into these kind of frenemies. They target people. They try to become the friends of those that they envy just in order to pull them down, just in order to take them down a notch. And they're always seeing the ones who are self-confident and putting themselves out there, or, who are going their pathway, following their talent, doing what their talent dictates them to, as being arrogant or standoffish or inaccessible or all these other little gaslighty things because they're not getting their supply. So it's really interesting how it always comes up. And that's one of the things that isn't ever worked on. Like I've thought of all these things that people, ever since I've been doing this, working together with Kurtrice and looking at what's really there, what's really still there, what's really still there that needs to come up, that needs to, if you haven't seen the videos, the interviews with Kurtrice, go check them out, please. There are 2 of them on the channel, and there's an activation coming up. But to get back to topic, I'm looking at why this is still a thing, because I mean, we have the education, we have the knowledge, we have the basics in pop psychology. So if you're feeling this feeling of you're looking at someone, you're thinking, wow, I really envy this person. I'm so jealous of this person. What in you is there to tear them down still, and not, instead of tearing them down, is saying to yourself, okay, I'm having this feeling. This is a signal of my soul. It's trying to teach me something. It's trying to tell me something. It's trying to explain to me something about me. What is it that I need to see here? And usually if you dig deep enough, you'll see, oh, I'm not living my truth. I'm not living my glory. I'm not living my shine. I'm not living my light. I'm watching someone else live their light. And that's what I want, is to live my life too. But some of these people really want your light. That's the thing. They don't want to see you live your life. They don't want to live their life either. They want your light. They want what you have. They want your insights, your inspiration, your way of going about things, because at the end of the day, that's what it really is. These insights and inspirations, and these are how we learn and how we process information. And that is what they want, how you process your information, how you put it out there. They think for some reason that how you do it is better because it makes you look better. That's what they think. right? They don't stop to think, oh, if I process the information in my own way and did my own thing while allowing everybody else their space to process their information, then I'll look good in my own way and my uniqueness. They don't see that. And so there they are, and they're trying to take from you, and you can feel this energy drain. You can absolutely feel it. You can absolutely you know, and it's irritating, right? It gets under your skin. It's like peck, 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 like a hen for corn, you know, and it just it's really interesting how that's still a thing nowadays in 2024. There are a lot of things in 2024 that are still a thing that I'm really surprised about, that it's still a thing nowadays. You can drop in the comments what you feel, what things you feel are in 2024 that are like a thing. But it's really interesting to me how women still cannot really come together. Like we try, you know, we do the women's circles and the moon circles and the bleeding circles and all those things, and we connect with each other. We do the sisterhood, we do all that, but when it comes to real down day-to-day living, the stories I hear about what women can do to one another or to other people. And is it time for women to be held accountable? Is it time? We've been holding men accountable for so long, and we've picked them totally apart. And not to deny that there was a lot of work there to do, and still is, for sure. I'm not denying that. But is it time for women to start looking too at their shadows, at their darker sides? And now it doesn't help to just say, oh, this is who I am and this is my dark side, and then run rampant with that dark side, which is what some people do as well. They think, oh, because I say it, because I articulate it, because I speak it, that it's okay for me to act it out because, well, I warned you, I guess. Is that what it is? A warning? But they think, oh, that's my work, is to become aware of it. But they don't realize there's another step. You need to transform it. You need to alchemize that. You need to shift it. You need to bring it into transformation. And maybe I'm the catalyst, but baby, I am not the one you need to change. I'm not the one that you need to work on, pick apart until you figure out how all the parts move together and how it works, so that you can then blast it to smithereens and feel better then, because, oh, I figured it out. There's this element of control that goes in with these type of people as well. So I feel like, though, for us that experience these kind of situations, it's a leveling up, because every time you hit a certain level in your growth and your development, level boss comes along and triggers and triggers and triggers and triggers and triggers until you learn to overcome those triggers, until you learn not to be triggered anymore because you've done your work, right? So actually, these frenemies, are they really frenemies, or are they your master teachers? Do these people turn you into masters? Do they turn you into who you need to be, who you need to develop into? Do they make you realize what your true core value is and what you really have to offer and what you really have to give? Do they make you realize the uniqueness of your own self and your own soul? Do they help you to come into clarity about your principles and your boundaries and what's important to you and what's not? I would say yes on all counts, right? So maybe if we shift our perspective around frenemy, we can see that, oh, I recognize who you are. I see how you operate. I know what this is. Okay, universe, let's do it. Let's practice. Let's practice. Trigger me, right? And I don't mean universe, take this literally right now. I know you're listening all the time. This is just an example here. So, but you know, when you run into these people, you can take it as an opportunity. You can take an opportunity to flip it around, kind of like in martial arts when they get ready and they're about to punch you, and you just stay loose and calm. And once they leave that point of balance in order to land the punch on you, you grab their arm and just fall, and they smash. You roll over on top, and all of a sudden you're on top. Now, if we do that with these people, can that bring us forward? Does that help them? Would that help them them? Would that help them if we no longer see them as frenemies, but we say, okay, I see how you operate. And I kind of, with all the love in my heart, with all the grace that I can muster, I'm wishing for you that you find the light in your heart and the light in your soul and the light in your being. And maybe if you go backwards, start with your actions, maybe that will lead you to where it must be hidden, right? Because obviously something is inside that is going clack, 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 not computing, hanging itself up for the soul that is trapped within not to be able to express itself. Now, I know some of you are going to say, but some of these people have no souls. Okay, yeah, next video, next topic. But I already did a video on those types of people, but some people are truly trapped. So does it help if we call them out? Does it help if we make a note, if we tell them, if we show them, or does it help more in shifting the balance of energy if we recognize what's happening and if we say, oh, okay, I accept that energy. Thank you. Thank you. Gives me more energy, gives me another key to unlock more energy within myself, gives me a key to recognize, wow, that really triggered me. What is that trigger about? What did that trigger just set free? What did it just open up? What did it just reveal? Ooh, I felt uncomfortable. Ooh, I felt disappointed. Ooh, I felt abandoned. I felt unseen. I felt unheard. I felt disrespected. Ooh, I felt used. Ooh, I felt, and you can go down the list and then start doing your work. And the next time you see this person, your energy field is going to be different and they won't be able to connect the way they used to. They won't be able to drain. They won't be able to feed. They won't be able to vampirize your shine, right? So you tell me, what do you feel? What do you do when you deal with frenemies? When you see them, when you recognize them, when you recognize their machinations and their actions? How do you cope on a higher vibe level with this? I know we can always walk away. We can break all contact and all connection. But is that all there is to it? Now, I'm not an advocate to stay in abusive relationships, whether it be parental, whether it be friendship, whether it be partnerships, whether it be work. I'm not an advocate for you to take abuse to prove your love or to maintain a relationship that is clearly built on your pain. It is not in my intention to promote that either, right? That all of a sudden you're going to realize, oh no, this abusive relationship, I can control it and I'm just going to keep doing my work. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying in a normal interaction, let's call it, so with a frenemy, that even if you do decide to cut things off, even if we do decide, you know what, this person, this energy, I don't need this in my life. I don't need this envy. I don't need this jealousy. I don't need this nitpicking. I don't need the doubt. I don't need the pulling down. I don't need the competition. I don't need the measuring oneself all the time according to the accomplishments that you think I've made. I don't need that. So even if we do decide to, make a cut, it's also important to have a look at how did we get into this in the first place, right? How did I, invite this experience into my experience in the sense of why am I feeling what I'm feeling? And what is it really triggering deep within? Ooh, what is still there? So there's so much that we can do, that we can really utilize to propel ourselves forward, to clear our energy. And that's another thing, is we want to gain more clarity in our lives. Like this is, a lot of people are like, I want to heal, I want to ascend, I want to become. What we're really looking for is clarity. It's clearness, it's clear thought, clear feeling. clear seeing, clear recognizing of what is, so that we can make clear decisions and navigate clearly through life, because this is what's holding most of us up, is we're not able to see, feel, or think clearly about certain things because we've got all these filters and all these perceptions and all these things. So this is another situation, or any situation that you get into where there's some kind of an imbalance or some kind of a swaying, where we can look for the clarity in it, look for the what is the truth here, the absolute truth, and not to settle until you find it. And that's the hardest thing, is not to settle until you find it, because we're going to be tempted to find that truth in other people. We're going to be tempted to be pointing fingers. We're going to be tempted to be shifting responsibility and blame. And while that is certainly true in some cases, I'm not saying it's not. Where's the point of power in the moment? And that's always here with me, right? So how do I own that power? How do I empower myself in a disempowering situation, such as with a frenemy? It's really interesting how our lives have been set up, because they've actually set us up for success. Our life plan has been set up for success, not for failure. You haven't been set up for failure. You might believe that, you might think that, but I don't feel that anymore. I don't feel that we're set up for failure. I feel that we are so off track that we misinterpret everything that we experience or that we see. But how about you start, or we start, having a look at how this feels, this encounter with a frenemy? Feels crappy. Yeah, I know. What does it trigger? What exactly does it trigger deep inside? And clear that, utilize it as a springing board. And that way they can't take any energy from you. They only took the negative, and you released, you set the positive free, which is way more than that negative chunk. So anyhow, you guys let me know in the comments below how you deal with frenemies, how you deal with negative Nellies, how you deal with jealousies, competitions, incompatibilities of all sorts. And I'm excited to read those comments, but I think this is an opportunity for, it's a slingshot. It's a slingshot. And you can really utilize it to transform your life in the most magnificent ways. Take care. Bye.